events that took place 82 years ago on March 10th, 1943, where Bulgarian statehood and all Bulgarian people and people from all walks of life resisted the Nazi pressure for the deportation of the Bulgaria's Jews. It was a collective effort comprising members from the pro-German government, the king, also members from the parliament, members from the civil society. It's an unprecedented act of humanity and tolerance toward our compatriots from Jewish descent. Bulgaria is a unique example and a positive example how the courage and understanding of someone's strategy could invoke in you the spirit of resistance and to say no to the greatest evil in the world ever seen. If there are three facts that should be remembered from the story of the rescue of Bulgaria's Jewish people are just three. First of them is that there is no single victim there is no single person who was killed on the grounds of its ethnic or religious affiliation. This is unique for Bulgaria, especially in the time of World War II. There is no single victim of that on that ground. Second, Bulgaria was pro-German government at this time. We sided with Germany, but not a single Bulgarian Jew was deported outside Bulgarian borders. There were Jewish people who were outside Bulgarian borders on the territories given to Bulgaria for administration, especially the Jewish people from Thrace, at this time northern Greece, and Yugoslavia, southern Yugoslavia. This is the territories of today's North Macedonia, and the city of Peev in today's Serbia, who were deported. And every year on this day, besides the fact that we commemorate the rescue of Bulgaria's Jews, we always commemorate the fate of those who perished. Bulgaria is a staunch supporter of the historical truth, and we always fight against any attempt of history distortion. I think, especially in today's challenges, especially against the background of today's wave of anti-Semitism across the globe, I think this is very important principle we stick to. And the third fact is that the support for the Jewish society in Bulgaria came from all walks of life, from left and right, from the government, from the ordinary people. The support came without political affiliation, religious or ethnic. Bulgaria considered its Jewish compatriots as one of them. We look the same, we had the same challenges. Jewish fighters took part of the Bulgarian War for Independence. They were highly respected members of our society. And the big question is, why, if Bulgaria managed to do that, why other countries couldn't? Because if other countries resisted the Nazi pressure the way how Bulgarian society resisted, probably we wouldn't have places like this today. So, especially in today's society, we consider the rescue of Bulgarian Jews as a positive example how to communicate the tragedies from the past to the today's youth, especially young generations, because not everybody was a perpetrator. Not everybody was Nazi. There were some people who fought for the sake of their Jewish compatriots. Evil should be exposed. Evil should be condemned. But we shouldn't also forget the positive examples. We should communicate the story in its historical context. This is the message from the events we commemorate today. And probably one more important part of today's commemoration is that I strongly believe that the rescue of Bulgarian Jews, 50,000 Jews, was not a random act. It didn't happen by chance. We should follow the events before the attempts of deportation and what followed. What precedes March 10th is centuries of peaceful coexistence between Bulgarians and Jews. Peaceful. There is no any historical accounts of systematic anti-Semitism on Bulgarian lands. And especially for our American compatriots, here Bulgaria is created in 7th century. The first evidence of Jewish presence on Bulgarian lands, even before the creation of Bulgaria, are from 2nd century. Majority of the people, of Jewish people at this time, during the Roman Empire, were Ashkenazi Jewish. After the expulsion of the Jews from Spain, this is 15th century, they came to the Ottoman Empire, which at this time ruled Bulgaria from 14th to 19th century. So Spanish Jews, Sephardic Jews came in Bulgarian lands. So majority of the Jewish people in Bulgaria now and at this time were Sephardic Jews. We lived together during Ottoman rule. After Bulgaria liberated, late 19th century, as I said, we fought again side by side for the Bulgarian Treaty. This peaceful coexistence before the Nuremberg laws, before the Nazi came, is, I think, the source of our spiritual bond. The fact that we always fight side by side. So this is before March 10th. But what followed after March 10th? As I said, the Jewish community in Bulgaria was the only Jewish community in continental Europe during the World War II, which naturally grew, not by immigration, but because it was rescued in its entirety. So in 1948, because this community survived, and because this community was very Zionist, and because it saw that the communism is another authoritarian regime, that we deprive them from property, deprive them from future, almost 90% of Bulgarian Jewish community let go Israel. Bulgaria and Israel are tied together because Bulgaria participated in the creation of today's state of Israel, which is 48,000 Bulgarian Jews. Some of them embarked on the beaches of Haifa and took the rifles the day they set a foot on the Holy Land to take part of the First Arab War. Some of the most prominent colonels and commanders in the first Israeli army are from Bulgarian descent. The last example is General Gabriel Ashkenazi, who was chief commander of the Israeli army and also former Minister of Foreign Affairs. He was born in Bulgaria, one of those kids who survived the Holocaust. So this is what we commemorate today. This is what we celebrate, this unbreakable bond between Bulgaria and Israel, between Bulgarian community and the Jewish community across the world. And as a proof that this is not just a story from the past, this is not a example which is frozen in the past that has nothing to do with today's reality. We are here to celebrate the courage and the efforts two young members of Bulgarian American community who are not Jewish, but who understands the value and who cherish the relations between Bulgaria, Israel, and Jewish people. So before going to this part of our program today, which I unintentionally delayed, I invite Mr. Romanov to deliver welcoming remarks also to the gathering.
It is I who should be clapping for you. My name is Robert Romanoff. I am the chair of the board of directors of the Illinois Holocaust Museum and Education Center. It's my privilege to welcome you today. I'm sorry that we couldn't arrange for sun and warmth. If you'd been here 2 days ago, we would have had this outside, and we would have had the dedication of this outside at the fountain. But it's warmer and drier in here. The mission of the Illinois Holocaust Museum is to remember the past and transform the future. And that's what you're that's what you're doing here today. You're remembering the past, the heroism of righteous individuals who saved their Jewish community. Something that happened far, far, far too infrequently in Europe in the 1990s. And the Jewish community in Israel worldwide owes a debt of gratitude to the leadership of the nation of Bulgaria for saving its community. You're transforming the future by being here today, by remembering the past, but celebrating, commemorating, venerating upstanders. It is only through upstanders who stand up, speak out, forthrightly and not in hiding, that people will be saved from genocides in the future. So again, it's my great pleasure to welcome you here today, to thank you for the commemoration. Should last long into the future. Thank you.
Appreciations to Mr. Romanov for hosting us today. Communication and with Illinois Holocaust Museum Education Center and our office is excellent, and I'm very thankful to him for hosting us today for this commemoration events. And I also would like to underscore the fact that two of the upstanders from these events, Metropolitans Kiril and Stefan, their names are on the plaques of the wall of the righteousness next to the fountain, and this is very much appreciated, Mr. Romanov. Thank you for that. This is where we shall place the flowers after the ceremony. Another interesting fact regarding these events is that even prior to the end of World War II, it's December 1944, the founding father of Israel, David Ben-Gurion, visited his first country, trying to gain support for the creation of Israel, and this country was Bulgaria. You can read this in his biography, written by Bulgarian Jew, Michael Bar-Zohar, who was welcomed here in 2023, and we witnessed his program regarding the story of the rescue of Bulgarian Jews. And Mr. Romanov, after the ceremony, I have a very special present for you. One of few left books in English of Michael Bar-Zohar, Beyond Hitler's Grasp. This will be for you. And I'm pleased also to announce that Consulate General of Bulgaria launched an initiative for publishing second edition of this book, because it was exhausted on Amazon, and now we raise funds for this second edition, because we believe that the story should be preserved and for the next generation, and especially next generations should have access to this book, which is which is a masterpiece of the stories. And without further ado, I will give the floor of one of our youngest members of our community, Daniel Peev. Come on. Daniel took part of another initiative of our office, essay contests, and which I hope to become annual, for essay which is on the rescue of Bulgarian Jews during World War II. And I'm very grateful to present him to you, and he will read his essay.
The rescue of the Bulgarian Jewish community is an inspiring story with valuable lessons that should not be forgotten. Despite the country being an ally of the Axis powers, it still managed to protect its 50,000 Jews. Under the pretext of using their labor for public projects, Bulgaria found an excuse to delay the fulfillment of Nazi orders and ensure that they remained within the country's borders. These historical events required the united effort of various individuals and groups from different backgrounds to fight against the forces of hatred. The successful maneuvering against Berlin's pro-Nazi ideas must be remembered and preserved in world history. This significant humane achievement inspires hope for the protection of vulnerable communities around the globe. The impression that most stood out to me was from the sensible moves of Tsar Boris III when faced with pro-Nazi ideas, which might have cost him his life ultimately. Courage does not require direct confrontation to be effective. Now I understand the power of strategic maneuvering and calculated delay as some of the most important tools in preventing immoral acts. Gradual but strong resistance is crucial for saving countless human lives. Rather than resorting to blatant opposition against injustice like protests and revolutions, Bulgaria during World War II achieved the critical balance of conducting a delicate policy that led to the saving of its Jews. In today's world where aggression and discrimination unfortunately still exist in many communities worldwide, I see that change does not need to be egregious or dramatic to be significant. It only needs to be effective, regardless of the means used to acquire it. At the same time, I've come to know about the moral complications and controversies that arise from meaningful leadership. I now understand that situations are rarely defined as only being moral or immoral and brave or cowardly. In our increasingly complex world, I've seen how delicate and fragile this balance truly is. Sometimes situations force us to walk a delicate and fine line and make small compromises while simultaneously doing everything we can to resist orders that contradict our moral beliefs. This approach is essential in not only our politics, but also in many parts of our personal lives. Faced with impossible choices daily, I realize that every situation has many risks and can impact our ultimate goals. These dilemmas show that leaders and ordinary people always have a choice, even when facing immense pressure and potentially severe consequences for their decisions. After examining the strategic political decisions of the government through Tsar Boris III and other ruling forces, I learned how critical it is to carefully evaluate decisions made under precarious circumstances. I also understood how leaders always choose the path that upholds humanity, regardless of public opinion in the political situation. The final reflection I gained from the story is just how one person's decision and action can dictate the course of history for decades, perhaps even centuries to come. I've always felt amazed and curious when trying to understand global events that happened many years ago. This story underscores how our past is shaped not only by governments and military forces, but also by many brave individuals who united their efforts against Nazi actions. Each and every one of them led to achieving the goal of saving 50,000 Bulgarian Jews. The fate of these people would have been put at risk if these groups did not intervene. Bulgaria managed to protect the Jews, achieve its humanitarian duty, and oppose the inhumane mission of the Führer. No act of resistance is too small to be significant and remembered. I realize that our daily actions can lead to meaningful change if we only choose to work in the defense of humanity. I'm now convinced that every decision of ours can leave a mark that greatly impacts the generations that follow. From Bulgaria's history of opposing Nazi Germany and saving its Jewish community, I learned that true resistance can take many forms, and that leadership requires moral responsibility. Even in the darkest and most challenging times, there were people whose conscience, faith, and love helped them combat evil and preserve humanity. I feel immense pride to continue this mission. If they found the strength to act courageously in the face of threats to themselves and their families, then I and generations of Bulgarians can choose to do the same. In today's world, we can apply this message to fight anti-Semitism, protect vulnerable communities, and oppose injustice wherever it manifests. Learning from history, we must never forget that we are responsible for preserving and defending human life.
As you see, our youngest members also realize how important is the relation between Bulgarian people and Jewish people. And as a sign of appreciation of his efforts of reading the book, spreading the story, I present him with a plaque of gratitude of the Consulate General of Bulgaria for his efforts and for his success. Here, Michael. To present another member of our community.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed Consul General of Bulgaria, honored guests, and of course, the man of the hour, Ivan. My name is Michael Kaminsky. I'm Vice President of Student Supporting Israel at the chapter of DePaul University. But before I begin, I want to acknowledge something really quick. I want everyone to look at Ivan and just acknowledge how fantastic he looks today. It's the first time that I've seen him wearing a nice outfit, so I want to make sure that we really honor this. All right. No, for real. Today we're here to celebrate something truly special. Talking about the prestigious honor Ivan is receiving for his civic courage. No, I'm talking about the fact that he's wearing a nice outfit. Seriously. I saw him and I thought, wow, who is this well-dressed diplomat? Then I realized it's Ivan. I don't know if this award ceremony was the reason or if someone just tricked him into saying that he would get a Chick-fil-A gift card at the end of this, but either way, we're witnessing history. In all seriousness, we're here to celebrate a man who has shown remarkable courage, integrity, and selflessness. Ivan, when you stepped up to protect the DePaul University Jewish community, you didn't just prevent multiple attacks against the Jewish community, as well as defending attacks from yourself. You demonstrated exactly the kind of bravery this world needs more of. Those of us who know Ivan well weren't surprised. This is a man who has always stood up for others. Whether it's for his friends, for strangers, or his unwavering belief that Chick-fil-A is probably the greatest establishment in the history of mankind, he is ready to defend whatever it is that he believes in. But jokes aside, Ivan, this award isn't just a recognition of your past, it's a glimpse into your future. We all know your deep passion for law enforcement, for serving your community, and for ensuring that justice is upheld. And today, Bulgaria, your second home, recognizes that you are not just an upstanding citizen, but you are a protector. This is just the beginning of a journey that will lead you to even greater things. And I have no doubt that you will continue to make all of us proud. So let's all take a moment to celebrate Ivan, not just for what he's done or for who he is. May this be the first day of many honors in a lifetime dedicated to protecting others, in a lifetime dedicated to continuing to be a hero. And even though heroes deserve a break, we all know where he's going to be. The answer is Chick-fil-A. Just like in the place we are in, may history never forget people like Ivan. May the Jewish community never forget people who stood up during our times of need. May the Jewish community never forget people like you that continue to inspire people like us and continue to defend people like us. So I say, Lagadari Vimnoga, Toda Rabah, thank you very much. And on behalf of the entire Jewish community, Ivan, keep doing what you're doing, and we all love you, and we all thank you.
So, still working for you. I have a special present for Ivan, another very esteemed member of our community. Thank you for the great presentation, Michael. But I have somebody here in the room who knows Ivan and his dedication for the Bulgarian history, Bulgarian traditions, probably which marked him for life, and these traditions helped him to realize how important it is to help vulnerable people. I give the floor, invite on the stage Mr. Stefan, who is the teacher of history in the Bulgarian Sunday school, and who was the first history teacher of Ivan to deliver remarks.
For me, it's a huge honor to represent one of my best students. I remember Ivan when he was in the third grade, and the subject was the humans of the people and my land and my society. I remember Ivan when he was very passionate when I was trying to describe all of our big heroes, national heroes, and big battlefield winning. And also, I'm never going to forget Ivan, and I'm going to represent him as a Spielberg should forgive me, as a Transformers. I know Krasimir is here. Remember Krasimir, when you were asking question, I was those scary Turkish police officer who asking Ivan as a Balkan Jew the question, are you Ivan given your sister to the foreign religion? Ivan said no. Ivan was transformer, and he was representing a Bulgarian school, my Bulgarian school, as many presentation as an actor. He was a good guy as a Balkan Jew. He was the bad guy when I was the good guy, national hero Vasilevsky. Ivan was the other police officer who asked me questions. Ivan was a big part of Bulgarian history in Bulgarian school. I believe Ivan is going to be part of Bulgarian history from now on forever. I believe Ivan, our students, future students, they're gonna learn and they're gonna study what you did as a student, of my student, and what you're doing now, what you did in DePaul University, what you're gonna do in the future. And for me, it's a huge honor when I'm seeing my students grow up in a society. In American society, Bulgarian society, I know students who became a doctor, dentist, scientist, engineers. I'm very happy. For me, the big award is to see all of my students successful. And I knew it that Ivan and all his classmates is going to be part of Bulgarian American history here in the United States. And now Ivan is going to be part of American Jewish community also. So Ivan, I thank you for everything. Thank you for what we did. Thank you for bravery. Thank you for that you never say no what we asking you to do for our school, for our community, what you did for your friend, for the Jewish community, that you remember my lesson. And also when you talk about 10th of March, and I want to say one more very important day in Bulgarian history. It's the Middle Ages, 1230th, March 9th. So I can show where the tolerance in Bulgarian community is coming from. In March 9th, 1230th, our great Tsar Ivan Ascend II won big battle, and he captured 30,000 Roman soldiers. Instead, to kill them all, how happened 20 years ago when our bravery soldiers were took the eyes off, he let them go. He let them go. That's never happened in the whole over 12th century Middle Age history in Europe. But Ivan Ascend II let them go. So Ivan is really keep going this tradition as a tolerance, how we bring tolerance to other people. So Ivan, one more time, thank you for your parents, because they had a patience always to behind his back, always support him, always support Bulgarian schools, Bulgarian community, and Ivan, just keep going, stay as a transformers who you are, and I'm pretty sure we see you again many times. Good luck, stay healthy, and don't forget our history lessons. Thank you.
Please proceed. So in the diplomatic service, we had the tradition to award our employees for accomplishments different from ordinary, something huge that they achieved in part of their diplomatic service. There are just few examples in the history when the law for the diplomatic service in Bulgaria and its awards are used for members of the civic society. When I first heard about the story of Ivan and how he supported the students of DePaul University from escalation and conflicts with other members of and not members of the university, first thing I was shocked of was the fact that first time I heard about this story. We screened a movie with the American Jewish Committee in Highland Park, and this is when Liana came to me and said, I want to say a story about the rest of Bulgarian Jews, but also I would like to give an example from the present. And I was on the stage like that, and was the time I first heard about this story. I proceeded to Ivan and said, why I see you first time ever here? Why I don't know about this story, you know how passionate am I about the history. And he said, it's business as usual. It's nothing special to me. And this very well describes Bulgarians as a nation. We don't talk a lot before doing something. We don't give huge promises, and we talk very small after we accomplish something. And this is, if you meet with Bulgarians in your life, this is a very common for our character. And somehow I went back home, and I texted Ileana and I said, look, this cannot be buried like that. I should inform my ministry about the events in DePaul University and about the courage of Ivan. So the next day, actually, I wrote a proposal to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Bulgaria to award Ivan for his courage. It took like 3-4 hours because of the time difference, this proposal to be approved. So I had no issues at the level from the unit to the department, general directorate, political cabinet, the very minister of the ministry who approved this proposal. It took a day. Yeah. So it's my great honor and privilege to present Ivan with honorable diploma from the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Bulgaria for high, it's in Bulgarian, sorry, high civic courage and for the support of the Jewish students and prevention of incident with them in University of DePaul, Chicago, United States of America. Oblige you to deliver remarks.
Thank you guys so much. My family's here, my dear friends are here. I just want to say thank you. I mean, it's I don't really think it was much of a big deal, but I guess everybody disagreed. I want to thank the Consul General for nominating me for the award. I want to thank him for, making me part of his community. I want to thank my teacher, Stefan. Without him, I wouldn't be half the man I am today. The sacrifices he made to educate us are not forgotten. They never should be. And that's it. Thank you all so much.
Without our ceremony conclude, flowers here. Yeah,
And I know you have a tour set up with a docent.
yes, and
And
also
she's helped me here.
thanks to the support of Mr. Romanov, we have provided docent for a tour in the Illinois Holocaust Museum Education Center. I strongly advise people who didn't visit it to join our tour.